God questions. Honest answers.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of God Questions.
Honest Answers.
I'm Ross, and this is
Mark.
And we're excited that you're listening or watching again for this episode. And let's
Yes.
start here. This episode is a little different, Mark,
It's very different.
because we are recapping what we're going to call Season 1.
Woo! Season 1.
Yep. So
Wrap
we're
up.
wrap up. So we're going to wrap it up, recap it, talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Because from this point forward, we're going to launch into a Season 2 to come. So still
Yes.
send us your questions.
We got picked up for Season 2.
We did.
Woo! Yes.
Dude.
Awesome.
Firm by God. No, it's so good. So we're super excited though, and we still want your questions. We'll get to that at the very end. But until then, let's have some fun. Mark, earlier in the podcast journey,
Yes.
okay, we asked a really specific question
Ooh.
of how many animals
Yes.
are on Mark's property.
Yes.
And the viewers, listeners have been chomping.
Oh.
This is probably our most asked question without submit. People are just thinking
Right.
it.
Thinking
you know?
it. It's the most thought question.
Yeah, thought question.
Yes.
So how many animals now are on your property? So back then you had some turtles.
Yeah.
How many do you remember?
I don't remember the number, and I was so well prepared that I went back and didn't listen to the episode where we answered it.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, here, and this is just a blip of a moment.
Yes.
Our awesome editor extraordinaire, Bethany's just going to say the number right now.
A magic
the number
number
is that. So
Yeah.
that's the number
Yeah.
from back then. So now what's the number?
Well, it's the dead of winter.
What does that mean?
Which means that all of the, the animals that my kids collect in the summer have been released because,
They're dead?
no, we released them into the wild. Like they're living happily in the Mississippi River.
So what's the dead of winter mean? Why did you start it that way? Why couldn't it be the middle of winter?
Because in the summer, you can like catch a fish in Mississippi and like keep it in a little aquarium in their little, like, I don't know what they call it, their animal shelter place. They've got their aquarium set up,
okay,
right?
okay.
If those aquariums were still set up, they would be frozen solid and the animals would be dead.
But can't you freeze bodies, like cryo freeze things, and people can still live?
Yeah, but my kids
like
haven't quite got to
Star Wars?
that
Okay.
technology yet.
So it's the dead of winter, but not things are dead. So you've given away the turtles, you're saying?
They've been released into the wild
Okay.
happily. Yeah. So,
Are alive.
so really,
And
we're
then
just down
finish.
to a snake and a dog and some chickens.
How many chickens?
What's that? 9.
Dude, I like that you're just like some chickens,
It's
9.
true. All right.
Okay, so 11 total, right?
I think
11 total
that sounds
animals in
good.
your house.
If you're good at adding, yes.
Yeah.
There's a snail.
like
There's a
awesome.
snail
Awesome.
in an aquarium. We have
12.
one aquarium with a snail in it. There you
12.
go. 12. Perfect.
12,
And
okay.
a clam. I forgot there's a
13.
clam. All right.
This is why this question's so fun, because it's always a good question to ask. How many animals are at Mark's house? So if you
Those are the ones I know of.
Yeah. If you want to hear the original answer and not just a blip, you can go back a few episodes near the beginning. We answer that question in the dead of summer.
In the dead of fall. It was dead of fall. All right. Okay, so trying to salvage this episode.
Yeah. That was great.
Here's a question for you. Out of all the questions, the God questions that we tackled this season,
We answered honestly.
which was the hardest one for you?
The hardest one.
Hardest one.
Oh, so I'm in between the politics one.
Okay.
That was pretty hard because we're in a culture right now that wants to reconcile like Christian nationalism. They want to reconcile like politics are Christian.
Yeah.
You're a good Christian if you believe a certain thing, whatever. So that was hard for me. And then probably most recent, a few weeks ago now, the thou shalt not kill, murder, police force, military one.
Yeah.
That was pretty hard for me too.
Nice.
Both of those I had to really spend more time in discovering my honest answer to that biblically.
Yeah.
So those are my two. What about you?
I think the hardest one for me was the podcast to recommend.
That was tough.
And I think the reason it's hard is because I'm like, man, here's some that I really like, but I know myself and that I make mistakes, and I would hate to recommend somebody and be like, oh, this is a great person, and then they do something stupid.
So it's just that
So it's just that whole like, oh, I'm gonna, I believe in these people. And so, I mean, we tried to recommend people and say, here's some people that have like have this track record
history
of good teaching, but it's always a scary thing. I mean, there's, yeah. So I think that was the hardest one because it was just like, well, who? And then I feel bad because I'm like, even after we recorded the episode, I was like, oh, that was a good one. I didn't mention, just that whole, like, how do you pick your top 3? I hate questions like that.
Yeah, and that question too, we also answered just like what to steer clear from.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard not to identify potential people with that, but we felt it was just honoring of us not to do that. We never want to call people out like that. So, but it was hard to like go around that doctrine, but mostly people might have someone in mind, and we don't want to say that person, but they can figure that out. So that was a hard.
Yeah.
Maybe that was my hardest one.
Ooh. Oh, too late. You already picked.
Okay. Well, what was your so hardest? What was your favorite episode? What's been the most fun episode you've had or you've done?
The Christmas one was fun. Namely just because I got to see you dress up. Yeah.
Wasn't that... Whose was that?
That was my daughter's cardigan that you wore.
That's what didn't fit. That's why I was wondering if it was yours.
It didn't quite fit. No.
I feel like
No, I think since we're honest answers, I really enjoy the one about how do you dig deeper and study. Because that's just a fun question to wrestle with. Like, how do I keep going after it?
So, yeah. Probably my favorite, the one I had the most fun with was how do you read the Bible, or how to best read the Bible, I think it was the question. And or where to start. And that was really fun because we're passionate about the Bible, and we say it almost every episode just comes around. The best way to read the Bible is any way you read it, because it's God's word, and as you read it, you'll discover him more and discover how much he loves you more. So it's really good. Really good.
Awesome. So season 1 is almost in the books. We've got a few more minutes here that we're going to talk to you, but man, thank you for joining us. And we were kind of like, hey, this might be cool. Let's try this. We didn't know if it would work or not, but it's been so cool to kind of go on this journey with you as we are getting questions from you and trying to honestly answer them and wrestle with what God's word says. So thanks so much for joining us and getting us questions to answer. And if some of you I know sent us questions and we didn't answer them yet, don't worry. That's what season 2 is all about. Not all about. It's what season 2 is part of. Because the other part of it is the questions you haven't sent yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Send us more questions.
Send them, please. So you can send them to this guy. It's mark@ehope.org, MARK EHOPE.org. So you can send them to him anytime, even if you had more questions about a question we asked or answered. Or even if you just had a side question, or you just wanted to tell us how good we're doing. Just a review, or how bad we're doing. Either way. Yeah. But please send us your questions, thoughts, comments to his email. That would be great because we want to hear from you more often. But yeah, Mark, it's been a fun journey.
It has, and we are. I mean, I'm excited about season 2.
Yeah, me too.
There's some good questions that we haven't got to answer yet. That I'm excited about answering. So stay tuned because they're coming, and we're looking forward to it. But I also, just in conversation with people, people mention questions. I'm like, send them our way. Because those will be fun ones to wrestle with.
Totally.
So keep sending questions.
And you can find us anywhere you find podcasts, most likely, and also YouTube and Facebook, all those places. We are there.
We're everywhere, practically. Everywhere.
And so please give us a listen, share with one of your friends. But until season 2, any last words?
Yes. Here's the last word from me. I don't know what it is. The last word is re-listen to them. And I don't know. No, we're excited. We're so well planned.
We were, right? I love it. This is fun with you. That's great. Okay.
We want to have you join us for season 2. We're preparing for it. We're starting to prep on the questions. Keep sending us questions so we can prepare for them. But man, we want to keep answering God questions in an honest way.
So thanks a lot. This has been a God Questions
Honest Answer
with Ross
and Mark.
Until season 2, we love you guys. Peace.
Bye.